Hello everyone, my name is Edgar Sergues. Today I would like to introduce you to my recently published paper, Effectiveness of Regionalized Lifecycle Impact Assessment, a study on the Arctic region of Nunavik, Canada, available in the Journal of Cleaner Production. First, I would like to give you some context. The Arctic region that we consider here is Nunavik, shown in red on this map. It is not linked to provincial networks, so energy generation relies mainly on fossil fuel combustion. If a technological switch is to be made, we need to assess the environmental implications of other solutions first. Lifecycle assessment is the right framework for this, as it helps to spot impactful steps of a system's lifecycle and to compare different solutions achieving the same goal. This framework focuses on the emissions occurring across all the lifecycle stages to then translate them into potential impacts to the environment. However, a review of the literature revealed that there was no method within this framework that would enable us to study Arctic regions properly due to the region's highly specific environmental and anthropogenic characteristics. This is an important gap and we need to work in this direction to unlock the use of LCIA in Arctic regions. So, the objective of our project was to take specific regional characteristics into account while translating life cycle emissions into potential impacts to the environment. Practically, the translation is done in the life cycle impact assessment step. It uses characterization factors that are modeled using complex environmental models. To build our dataset, we used models of the Impact Plus 2.0 methodology as it uses recommended and open access models. We aggregated fine resolution data or modeled new fine resolution data to produce region-specific characterization factors. Then, to assess how this new dataset would affect results realistically, it was applied to case studies of electricity and heat generation. We compare a baseline oil power plant with and without the use of auxiliary photovoltaic panels, and an oil boiler to a wood pellets boiler. All emission data in the inventories were modeled based on monitored data from the community of Quartac. The results of this work are presented in two sets of figures. In the first set of figures here, we compare the newly modeled characterization factors to existing ones in figure A and impact scores of relevant scenarios independently, just like in the hotspot analysis context, in figures B and C. The values are presented comparatively to the generic global average value for the existing regionalized characterization factors at country or subcontinental scale and for the new region-specific ones. First thing that we can see is that overall, the variations go in the same direction for most of the impact categories, just like in the first one here on the left. Only one exception is to be noted. Now if we look in figure B, for inventory emissions occurring inside the Arctic region, we can see the same trend as in figure A, but with a lower intensity, as shown in this blue area. In figure C, for all the inventory emissions occurring inside and outside the Arctic regions are considered, and we can see that the intensities of the variations are strongly lowered, except for some impact categories, due to the distribution of the emissions in the different regions. In this second set of figures, we want to show how using the new region-specific dataset can influence the comparisons, and thus the decision-making. Figure A on the left compares scenarios of the electricity generation case study, and figures B and C, the ones of the heat generation case study. We can see in figure A that using generic global average, country subcontinental, or new region-specific values tend to give the same results. This is because the scenarios compared have a very similar inventory. We can still see some significant variations due to the solar panels end-of-life stage. In figure B, by contrast, the inventory of emissions is very different between the two boilers as they use different fuels. The results of the comparisons vary significantly for several impact categories, some of which lead to an inversion of the outcome. This is important as it means that a solution can be identified as better according to one resolution or worse according to another. In figure C, where only emissions in the Arctic region are compared, we may even see that there is a decorrelation between country and new regional resolution for a few categories. So, what are the conclusions from all this? First, we show that it is possible to build an Arctic region-specific lifecycle impact assessment dataset. The one developed here is available for free on Zenodo, with the link in the description. This dataset helped us measure the effectiveness of lifecycle impact assessment regionalization, and differences of up to several orders of magnitude were observed. Moreover, it is shown in the paper that these differences are likely to occur for other Arctic and remote regions. It is also discussed that some models need to be refined as they are only partly regionalizable. In the paper, we also draw a set of recommendations for practitioners that would like to do life cycle assessments in Arctic regions. We recommend the use of country-level resolution in hotspot analysis contexts. However, in comparative assessments, the right resolution will vary from one study to the other depending on inventories and impact categories. Therefore, in this context, regionalization of the life cycle impact assessment step should be decided after the inventory is modeled. Now, thank you for watching that. If you enjoyed it, you can share it, and if you want to know more about it, go to the Journal of Canal Production. The paper is very complete, and there is some more material and analysis, as well as supplementary information. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more content. Goodbye!